The Trail, Chapter 39. An hour later, Sadie comes into the cafe. She gets a coffee, and I get hot chocolate. We order 2 cinnamon rolls and pull up 2 chairs around a table to talk. I have to ask the question. It's been bugging me ever since finding that map of Lewis's place. Why are you helping me? Sadie bites into a roll. This is the North Country. Up here, you're taught to leave your neighbors alone, not to butt in, even if you see something that's wrong. We respect one another's privacy and right to do whatever we want. But Lewis has been abusing that dog ever since he got him. I remember the first time I was riding my bike past this place when he came raging out of the house holding Buster by the scruff of his neck. Sadie's eyes darkened. He threw Buster. He threw him off the front porch and Buster hit the dirt. I never forgotten the way he helped and the way he whined when Lewis came off the porch to get him. I stopped and yelled at Lewis. I told him that was no way to treat a dog. Lewis told me, "Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it was if the dog, all on your floor." I told him that's what puppies do. They don't know any better, and Lewis said he was going to make sure that Buster would know better next time. He told me to mind my own business, or I was going to get it. Sadie takes a swig of coffee. You've seen Lewis. He's a big guy. I was afraid. I pedaled away and left him with Buster lying in the dirt. That was 2 years ago. Since then, I haven't seen Lewis say one kind word to that dog, or give him more than curses and kicks. If someone who's willing to take Buster away, I'm going to help him. And that somebody looks to be you. I nod. What do you think about Lewis? I ask. Do you think he's home right now? Sadie asks me for the map she drew. When I show it to her, she points to the stick drawing of a house. Lewis grows corn across the road from his house. Usually he's out on his tractor during the day. If we can get there soon, the farmhouse should be empty. We could find Buster and get him out of there before Lewis returns home. Sadie nods toward the door. I've got my four-wheeler outside. You ready? I pick up my pack and heft it onto my shoulders. Ready. We put our dirty plates in a brown plastic tub and head out. Sadie's four-wheeler is parked across the street. Sadie has brought a few bungee cords and she swings them in the air. Take your bag off and relax for a second. I hand her my pack and she lashes it to the back metal bars on the back of the four-wheeler. As I roll my neck, she asks, "What are you going to do when you get Buster back?" I've been thinking about this a lot. Part of me wants to finish the Appalachian Trail. I had a promise I wanted to keep to a friend. Shake my head. But I'm going to go home. Moose needs some love and attention. Real dog food, rest. I will hike the trail. But I'm going to do it when he's ready. And when he is, I'll be too. Sadie swings a leg around in front of the vehicle. Hop on, she tells me. I climb behind her and grip the bars under the pack. Sadie turns her head. No, you gotta grab onto my waist and hold tight. We've got bumps ahead. I wrap my arms around Sadie as she flips a switch on the four-wheeler. The engine rumbles to life, and we are off with a jolt. After a few miles, Sadie turns off the main drag onto a narrow dirt road. The motor thunks when she switches it off. Lewis's place is half a mile farther, she says. I hop off the four-wheeler and decide to leave my pack behind so I can be light on my feet for the rescue. We make our way down the road to an old ramshackle farmhouse with a faded white paint. Ivy chokes the rain gutters and creeps down the corners of the house. I look across the road to a large field covered in corn, their silk tassels rustling in the summer wind. I spot a big straw hat in the middle of the rows. Lois. I nudge Sadie and point to the hat. She nods and we duck around the back of the farmhouse, out of sight of the cornfields. There's a half falling down barn with moldy, rotting shingles and sagging roof out back. And then I see him attached to a thick iron chain to a pole in the ground, panting in the sun with no shade or water, collapsed on the ground and barely breathing. Moose. I forget to hide. I break out from the side of the house and run to him. He struggles to his feet when he sees me, but something is wrong with one of his legs. He's limping, his right paw up. My vision goes red with rage. I unclip his collar from the chain. Come on, Moose, I'm getting you out of here. Are you now? I turn around. Lewis is in the farmhouse, grinning at me through the open window. For a second, I refuse to believe it's him. I've seen his straw hat, saw it bobbing in the fields across the street. And then it comes to me. Scarecrows in cornfields have straw hats. Lewis reaches down with one hand. When he brings it up, it's holding a shotgun. He rests the long barrel against the window pane and trains the muzzle straight at me. You are trespassing, you no good dog stealing runt. I have every right to blow you away. Lewis, don't, cries Sadie. She runs out and stands between me and the gun. We'll leave, promise. We won't give you no trouble. Hey, Lewis. My heart is thumping like a jackrabbit, so hard I'm afraid it'll burst out of my chest. My hands are steady. Hey, Lewis, I've got a deal for you. I reach into my pocket and take out a Ziploc with my trail money. I'd hoped to make a clean getaway with Moose, but it was time for plan B. I hold up the money and wave it in the air. What do you say I buy Moose from you? I have $82. If I give you every last penny I have, will you give him to me? Lewis lowers his gun for a moment and then shakes his head and retrains it on Sadie and me. First of all, this here dog's name is Buster, not Moose. Second of all, your money's mighty tempting, but you're not getting my dog. He's mine. The last word is accompanied by the click of the shotgun hammer as Lewis removes the safety. Plan C, plan C, plan C, my brain screams. I don't have a plan C, but words are tumbling out of my mouth. Well, how about this? We have a contest. We put Buster between the two of us and call to him. If he comes to me, I get him. But if he goes to you, you get him. And all my money, too. Lewis works over the details in his head. It takes him a while. So if Buster comes to me, I get my dog and your money? He lowers the shotgun and smiles. You got yourself a deal, kiddo. I wonder what happens at 40.